CIGA is not delivering what the government really intended, and that was actually saving as much value in a business as possible. And one of the reasons for that is that insolvency practitioners are extremely professional, very capable profession, but they don't have, as a rule, company side experience. They don't have that management side. They don't have that quite that deep roots of empathy in actually saving value that an insolvency practitioner would have, and that is the difference. And one of the interesting things is that at about the time, and this was when the report was issued, in over 3 years, there had been just 47 CIGA processes. Now, considering the number of insolvencies and processes, of administrations, of CVLs and of CVAs, I mean, that is penny numbers. Why is that? Well, I think there are two reasons for it. One is that it has an element of a court-based process. You have to, when you do your restructuring plan, you have to get it approved by the court. Anything that involves a court costs money, and it costs quite a lot of money. And so for a large section of people who would benefit from a CIGA moratorium without having to go into court, are held off from doing it because they haven't got the funds to fund the process. And I think the second reason is that the IPs themselves recognize that it doesn't play totally to their skill set. And when they're asked to, they have to opine whether the business is viable or insolvent. You know, that's a fine judgment. It's not a bright line. It's a broad judgment decision. And if your empathies and your are to go with what you know, particularly if the risk is lower and the fees are higher, well, you could tend to go that way. But to go into a moratorium and go through the restructuring plan is perhaps not something that they would want to do. And I would say that actually, once you've got a restructuring plan, that needs a monitor too. But that doesn't. The CTPs would not be excluded from that. But of course, if you've not been in the thing in the first place, you're unlikely to get the mandate to do the second phase of it, which is the tail of it.